So where do we go from here? CNN Global Affairs analyst Kim Dozier is here with more on that. Kim, good morning. Wonderful to see you. Where do we go from here? I mean, Zelenskyy clearly has angered President Trump in the way that he has been dealing with this in public. Has it been the right strategy? How's it impacting things?
Well, hopefully Keith Kellogg in his meetings with Zelenskyy will have put some flesh on the bones on this rare earth minerals deal that National Security Advisor Waltz said the president wants him to sign. But the deal, as reported, only includes giving over rights to 50% of their minerals for past aid given by the Biden administration. It doesn't say anything about future aid. So Zelenskyy had wanted more details. But what has to happen next is the temperature needs to cool down between these two men. And that's what having the British Prime Minister and the French President visiting in the coming week. They're going to be briefing Trump on, as a European official told me, Europe's plan for taking responsibility for defending itself and its ideas for moving forward in Ukraine. So hopefully those two leaders will be able to change Trump's mind on some of this and correct him about things like calling Zelenskyy a dictator.
Can we talk for a second about, well, let's stay on this for a second. I want to ask you about the G7 statement and the back and forth there. But Macron in particular has had an up and down, or like a relationship with Trump over the years that has had its moments. What has he learned about dealing with Trump that might inform how he'll approach this situation when he comes to Washington, as we expect that he will now?
To be collaborative and to point out what they're paying for and what they're willing to do. Because if you seem insulting or like you're lecturing Trump, he shuts off. Also, the British Prime Minister is coming with the offer of peacekeeping troops. So they're both going to be coming with firm, concrete offers of here's what we will do, here's the skin we will put in the game. And they'll also remind him what they've already spent, because Trump seems unaware of some of that.
Interesting. So let's talk about the G7 statement, because, again, the idea that we're reporting that it's the Americans that are trying to remove a reference to Russian aggression. I mean, when I came in and sat down and looked at that this morning, I said, I'm sorry, what?
What? Yeah. It shows how far Putin has been able to get inside Trump's head that he believes that this wasn't aggression. You've had Russian media bragging that the hour-and-a-half-long phone call is where Trump got some of these ideas, and things that Putin told him, he is now repeating verbatim to the world, according to Russian media. And the fact that they don't report anything unless the government approves of it shows you this is all part of a piece. And it also shows me that the administration officials like Waltz, like Rubio, who in their Capitol Hill days were very tough on Russia, and both of them called this a war of aggression by Russia, aren't able to get him to change his mind yet.
It is pretty remarkable. And I want to play one clip from the Senate floor yesterday from a senator, someone who's not in the administration, so still kind of in the position Rubio used to be in. And that's Senator Tom Tillis, who may face a tricky re-election coming up, concerned perhaps about a primary challenge as well. But this is what he said on the floor about Putin.
Whoever believes that there is any space for Vladimir Putin in the future of a stable globe better go to Ukraine, they better go to Europe, they better invest the time to understand that this man is a cancer and the greatest threat to democracy in my lifetime.
So you can almost hear the emotion there. And of course, this is the cover, we talked about this earlier in the show, of the New York Post this morning. And they say, President Trump, this is a dictator. And it's Putin's picture. It's not Zelenskyy. So there is some dissent in the Republican ranks here.
Yeah, even among MAGA world, people are trying to get through to Trump on the channels that they know he listens to say, don't get snowed by this guy. Don't be a sucker. Vladimir Putin is a manipulator who you can't trust. And it sounds like he's been shown pictures of dead Russian troops. I bet you that The British and the French leader will be bringing in lots of visual aids to show him, here's what's happened to Ukrainians. Russians are regularly now executing Ukrainian soldiers, according to human rights reports, instead of making them POWs. They'll remind him of the rapes, et cetera, in Bucha. All of those things that happened. The reason that Putin is a war criminal and considered as such by most of the Western world.
Kim Dozier, thanks very much for your analysis. I appreciate it.
Thanks.